That's weird. Weird. You are first. Welcome. How are you this evening? Got myself my second box of quarters of the night. Pretty happy. Went up and I was able to score one, and then when I went to return them, I returned them to my normal dump bank, who sometimes gives me coin, and I was like, do you have anything? She's like, I've only got a box of quarters. I said, what, the one I just gave you? She's like, no, I've got another one. And this is the teller that normally doesn't want to give me coin ever. She's like, yeah, I'll give it to you. It's not even open. I'm like, sweet. And she's like, she had some nickels for me too. So I took the nickels. I've already hunted those. There is nothing special in there. What do we got here? An airman. Yeah, it's been almost 2 months. I mean, the box that I hunted, the last one that I posted, it had been almost 2 months since it actually had been 2 months since I found a W. But it's nice to get back into them. W's are tough though. My first box this morning was nice. I'm not going to spoil it because that one I did film. But it was a yummy box. And I'm hoping this can duplicate it and then be super happy. Because the nickels kind of stunk. You found a W in your mail. I wonder how you found that. Glad to hear it made it there. The first box of quarters that I picked up were from my normal half pickup, and she brought me out quarters. And I said, "Hey, did you get halves too?" And she's like, "Oh, I didn't even pay attention. I just brought you the box that they delivered." She's like, "Yeah, no, I don't have halves for you." I'm like, "Okay, great." She's like, "You want the quarters there, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "I'll take them." But I was hoping to pick up halves today. She's like, "Well, just come back on Friday. We'll try it again." So they've been super unreliable. They've been getting a box about every other week so far for me. Throwing some extra goodies. I'll take extra goodies. I love extra goodies. Yeah, I haven't been getting much in the PO box lately, so I'm looking forward to opening up and finding something. It's been dry. I had Larry Powell reach out to me over the weekend, and he's like, "Hey, you want to do a penny box hunt? I heard you like to hunt pennies." I'm like, "You know what? I just hunted the box I had, so I've got no pennies. But keep me in mind for the future." And so when I looked him up, I found out he's in Missouri, and so I reached out to him again, and I think he's going to hook me up with a box of pennies, because I haven't done a state penny box in like almost a month now. Oh, I bet your ASE video has gone crazy. Make me jealous. Go to bed now.
Can I have a snack?
No, you can't. Good night.
Well, I'm down here.
Good night.
A pickle.
Because you got it
Can I have a pickle?
expedited delivery, which most people haven't seen that yet.
Like,
Where me, I have nothing getting much views any place. I'm still not even halfway home yet. Super frustrating, but go
Can I?
to bed. I don't care. That's why I try to do that quarter video to see if I might be able to pique someone's interest, but hopefully it picks up legs someplace, but it has not picked up legs yet. Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's like a month for me. I can pick up subs from doing the shorts, but because they don't count for hours, I hate putting the time and the energy into it right now. I don't want to get burnt out on the shorts, because it takes time and effort to do those. Yeah, I honestly think a lot of people didn't necessarily even try to pick it up or didn't pick it up. I would have done a video if I had picked it up, but I didn't even try. But then again, I don't have $200 to spend on coins right now either, so. But yeah, being first one out makes a huge difference. But the coins look sharp, man. I mean, one of the things that was frustrating to me with that release is the pictures they put up on the site sucked. You really had no idea what I mean, you couldn't tell they were going to be proof, reverse proof.
Okay.
Wow, you get 400 for it? That's pretty sweet. See, you're flipping it before you even got it. Also, your mom got one too, so you still have one then. I was thinking you didn't even keep one for yourself. Oh my god, here, some more 2021s. I've been getting so many 2021s. Someone originally said they thought they were going to be lower mintage. Based on the numbers I'm seeing, I don't think that's the case. Not a bad gig, picking up 2 ounces of silver for $25. That's kind of the price you're looking for right there. Hang on 1 second for me, I'll be right back. Mass Coins and Collectibles, welcome. Yeah, I actually got 2 uncirculated boxes of 2021s. I kept a couple of rolls. I got a couple of rolls from I think I got a roll from Chris and a couple of rolls from Rob. So I got some D's and some P's. But some people were like, I think I want to keep a whole box of those things. So glad I didn't do that. Yeah, no, I haven't gotten them. I haven't gotten them lately. This was a while ago. This is like when they first came out. I'm trying to remember. I might have. I actually think I sold them on eBay. I think. I forget. What happens when you get old. Yeah, the 2021s have been all over the rolls lately. I mean, the box I hunted like 2 boxes ago, I'd probably say half of it was 2021s. And it was a mix between the Crossing the Delaware and Airmen. It wasn't all one or the other. There's actually some D's in there too, which I was surprised that they've already started commingling. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I had, where's the guy at? I just had one. Where'd he go? That's an Airman. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Come on. There was one just here. There we go. I had the one that had it wasn't quite what they're calling the crown. It was more like a bird's nest. And then I had feeder finger on a bunch of them, and I posted those. Nobody wanted them. So I'm getting ready to, I think I dumped those. I actually don't even know where I put those. That's what happens when you set something, try to sell it, you know, and if it doesn't sell quickly, you're like, where did I put those things? Hunting Southwest Ohio, welcome. Good to see ya. I was able, this is actually, believe it or not, this is my 2nd box of quarters today. I know, I don't get it either, but I was able to score one. Actually, I wasn't even actually able to score it. I went to the bank to get my halves today, and she brought out a box of quarters, and I said, hey, did you get the halves too? And she's like, oh, I didn't even realize that these weren't halves. This is what they brought, so this is what I brought out to you. And I'm like, do you have the halves? And she's like, nope. She's like, you want the quarters? I'm like, yep. So I took those. So my first box was supposed to be my box of halves that ended up not being a box of halves. And so when I returned those, I actually re-rolled them because my dump bank said, if you get quarters, bring them to me. But the teller that I normally deal with wasn't there today. And the teller that doesn't like to give me change or coin was there. And I said, hey, do you have anything? She's like, no, not really. I'm like, nothing at all? And she's like, well, I have a box of quarters. I'm like, are you going to tell me that you have the box of quarters that I just gave you? She's like, no, I've got a box that's sealed. I'm like, can I have it? She's like, yeah, I guess. So she gave it to me. So it worked out. Diggin' Dave. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see ya. Still waiting for an Illinois box of pennies. Hint, hint. Yeah, I can't believe how beat up some of the 2021s already are. I was shocked at how quickly they're getting messed up. But I think that it has to do with it. There's just not a lot of coin moving around. And there's 2021s are the ones getting used. Yeah, I hear you, Dave. It's been, I mean, looky, looky, Americanos, we have a W. He's in nice shape, too. Your farm. It's a nice one. I'll take her. So I'm ready for it. I mean, I think to myself, I'm like, man, if you would have told me, I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and they're talking about how detrimental this pandemic was going to be, and it was a video that was done a year ago, and they were talking about how tough the pandemic was going to be because the economy was going to be shut down for a month, and it's like, dude, that was 18 months ago. It's like, it's going to take years for this crap to get back to normal, unfortunately. Which just totally sucks. Well, but you got to make the most of it. You know what I found today that was really cray-cray? Which I never find. Actually, I'll show it to you. Because my nickel hunt wasn't that great. Right there. And I never knew this one looked like this. I got myself a proof nickel. And it's the 2005 one. Crazy. I don't actually know that I've ever found one before. Not found. So I had to show somebody because no one else will ever see it. It was $50. I picked up these quarters. She said she'd give me some nickels too. She's like, I got 50. I'm like, I'll take them. And there was tons of 60 quarters in there. There was a bunch of 60s, like 62s and 64s. Nothing, amazing. But I was really shocked at the number of 60s that were in the quarter she gave me, or the nickel she gave me. Found that one proof, but did not yield anything too really exciting except for that proof. New people at your bank, that's the worst. Well, it could be good. I mean, it really depends on how strong your relationships were, too. There's some banks I could use some utilities ads. But all you gotta do is be nice to them, share the love, and hopefully you can reciprocate the same kind of relationship you had before. Sometimes it's good when that happens, sometimes it's not great. But, like, see this one here, that's a D, 2021. My tellers know that I'm looking for stuff. Like when I went to my one bank that, oh, look at that, I got another one. The box I did earlier today had the non-proof S in it. Mount Rushmore. I hadn't seen one of these in quite a few boxes, but I got one in my box this morning too. But I have a new kid at that orders the halves. And he's like, "Oh, I don't have your halves because I can't get in the vault." So he didn't even know not to have me come back. He's like, "I got halves for you though." He had, I forget what he had. He had like $6 worth of halves. It's like I was expecting him to give me some re-reps or something, but he brought 60. He's like, I got $6. I'm like, I'll take. I mean, trying to get the tellers to where they just know that if they see me, if you've got loose, I want them. That's 10 rolls in. We already got 2 finds. That's pretty sweet. Maybe the quarters are going to warm back up. One could only hope. I was really dreading having to ask for bills again today because the bills have been brutal for me. I watched Rob do his hunt, and he was finding like 3-star notes a strap. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? I'm like finding 3 out of 500. Oh. Luck of the draw, though. Alright, I gotta go yell at my little ones real quick. Or they're gonna be miserable a couple more at a time. If I see or hear either of you again, no strings involved. Now go to bed. Go to bed. Now. Yeah, when I was watching that one with Rob, I was like, oh, where are those straps for me, man? Craziness. But I don't know. Maybe it made a difference too because he was getting them straight from the Fed. Not that I think any of my tellers go through it, but I don't know. Craziness. Oh, I was hoping that was going to be a W. It's nice and shiny. So who else grabbed one of those beautiful double set of the ASEs with the fancy reverse proof besides our friend Mr. Gosh? Yeah, bedtime's the worst, man. I have 4 boys. I have 2 little ones, and we call them the little ones. They're not that little. They're 7 and 9. I got 7, 9, 11, and 13. And they keep me busy. That is for sure. But it's they were always called the little boys. The two youngest are the little boys, and the other ones are the big boys. So it'll probably be that way forever because my 3rd son, his name's Will, and we used to call him Baby Will. He was Baby Will even after he had a little brother. He was Baby Will for probably another 3 years. Just one of those habitual things. You know what I'd really like to find is love to find like a MS65 83. Just a like right out of the mint packaging. One of these days. I found some nice ones the other day, but not that nice. These big old edges, and you're like, man, we're getting a bunch of 21s in here again. And I'd love to find that low leaf or high leaf, man. One of these days, I am going to find that stinker. Question is, how many hundreds of boxes is it going to take? Yeah, they've always been hard to find in nicer condition, but I mean, I mean, this here, right there. There's an 83. That's like very traditional condition, just crap. So if you could find a nice looking one, I mean, I can roll that junky one up and sell it at a premium right now. I was selling the rolls of 83s for like 15 bucks. And they had no airs. Look at look at the D. Look at the sharp looking D right there. Warren Pacific. Man, Denver really makes so much better coins. It is crazy. I do not understand that at all. Why their coins are minted so much nicer. It's like day and night. So you still able to get coins, Mass, or I know that it's been tough for a lot of us. It seems to me they've been coming in streaks where I either can get them or I can't. Let's have some funk on them, definitely. Yeah. Yuck. There's a D. That's going to be a 21. No, it's a 20. Those D's, man. I tell you. Yeah, well, good luck, man. You never know. I mean, if they say they're going to get them and they don't get them, and then they say they don't have coin, and then next thing you know, they'll give you a coin. No rhyme or reason. I'm just wondering when people are going to start turning crap into the bank again. When I was up at my mom's place earlier this year, they had signs up, and they would give you something goofy like a $10 movie gift card or $10 gas card. It was something weird like that if you'd turn in coin. They talk about the coin shortage, but very few banks are doing anything to reduce that pain for themselves. I could definitely figure out a way to utilize my spare change. Like, oh yeah, I'll bring you some coin. Rob Peter to pay Paul. Debate on whether I should sell my copper or not. I've got a bunch of copper. And I've seen that some people have just started to buy it on eBay. It's not moving very fast. Ooh, is that the Powerball or Mega Millions? Yeah, I would love to buy the lottery. Unfortunately, every time I buy a ticket, I'm lucky to get a number. It's kind of like flushing $1 down the, or actually $2 down the toilet now because you can't get a lottery ticket for $1 anymore. Price of poker is always going up. Yeah, you forget. Nah, I do too. I always go there and give me the one that's give me the high number one. I don't know what it's called, but here's my money. Probably be that guy that that buys a ticket, and because I don't play regularly, then I win, and then I forget to check my numbers and lose the winning ticket kind of thing. Silver Money Bags. That's a cool name. I like that one. I don't know if I've seen you around. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. I would love to. I was watching one of them scratching guys that won $1 million on a scratcher. That's pretty crazy. But it's cool to watch people win stuff like that, but I definitely prefer to watch them lose versus watching myself lose, though, because that's kind of how it traditionally works out for me. Some people just have that luck built into them. Now my mother-in-law, she wins stuff all the time, man. She does great. She has that lucky gene, I guess. Whoa. Being slow for a couple of rolls here. Let's find something good in here. That roll does not want to open. It's a 2021 there, I bet. Yep. Man, those are splinging. I remember back in the day when you could pull them out like that and they'd be W's. It's not the case anymore. The W edges do not scream anymore. Been around the block too many times. In like another year, W's would be like super crusty if they're in circulation, I would bet. yeah, those 2021s, man, you can see those edges all day long. You can see it there. It's just like, it's almost like looking at silver in half. It's just like, it stands right out there. Whoa. That one might be one. Or not. Actually, I might have a row with no 21s in here. State quarters. No, there's just 21. Oh boy. Timbo White. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I appreciate you always swinging by and commenting. It's always good to see you. We're about halfway through our box here. We've got one W and one San Francisco minted quarter to show for it so far. Still hoping to find some more goodies. Maybe even a silver. I'd love to find some more W's though. They have been tougher. Like, look at that 2021, how beat up it is already. Poor guy. Seen better days. Weird strike to it on that one. Well, jeez. Where are my finds at? This box is making me work for it here. Oops. That's pretty nice and filling. Really like to find myself a Rockefeller. I would. Well, booger. Come on. Work with me here. Fingers are failing me. Can't even flip a coin. Oh. Looks so promising for just a mere glimpse. You missed absolutely nothing, unfortunately. We found a bunch of clad quarters that were all minted in Philadelphia or Denver. Yeah, seriously. Look what I did today. I smashed my finger. I was picking up an oven and I got my finger caught. Oh, tore a big old chunk out of my finger. I'm like, ow. Can I have that piece of my finger back, please? But what you gonna do? At least my finger stayed on. Could have been worse, right? Oh my gosh. Talk about a dry spell. Come on, coins. Work with me here. Show me some love. Show me something. There's a 2021. It's a Philly. This is the first roll of the second half of the box. So this is roll 26. We are just halfway through now. So, overall, look at this. Colorized one or painted? Nah, it's painted. Or it's colorized, I mean. It's one of those. The one they use to figure out what's going through their machines and stuff. I thought it might be a colorized one there for a second. You don't see blue ones too often. Normally they're red or yellow. But I've seen them in all colors. Yeah, quarters take a little bit longer to go through simply because there's so many more coins. I mean, you got essentially double the coinage of halves. Halves you can peel through pretty quick. There's not as much variety, and they're bigger coins. Yeah, arts and crafts, exactly. I never really understood how they use those to test machines, but I guess they do somehow. There's another 2021. What we got here? Denver. Oh, it's not a 2021. Look at this. I mean, look at that. Denver coin. I have a whole 2 of those though, because I kept them. I mean, I was finding these left and right. I'm like, man, those are gorgeous looking coins. That's just Denver for you, man. They put out a good coin. I would have swore that was a 2021. You want to see this one under the microscope or the blue one? Pull this back a little bit here. You can see it better. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that coin's in amazing shape. You want to let me angle this a little better. Oops! When I moved my microscope up, I went to a different angle here. Hang on 1 second here. We got all kind of a mess going on now. Here we go. We don't have quite as much glare. And I can do this. So you can see. I just got some nicks here down at the bottom, but I mean, just blinging. Look at that barn. It even has a completely blank canvas, not even a nick on it. It's a nice quarter, man. Whoops, forgot to go back. There we go. Hey, no worries. I'm here to share with you, so I don't mind doing that. What you gotta do is ask. Come on, white line, I'm ready for you. Ready to find that silver. Or that extra leaf. So is anybody binging anything good on TV lately that I need to be watching? My wife's watching Ted Lasso. I watched part of that with her. It's pretty good. That one actually won a bunch of Emmys last night too. It's a pretty good show. But I just finished the new thing for Money Heist, and they're not really finishing it until December. So I was kind of disappointed about that. So I'm really excited for Ozark to have their new season come out, but I think it's going to be a while, and I think you'll binge right through that, and it'll be over in 2 days. Why watch TV when you, well, the reason why you watch TV is because you ain't got no coins to hunt. After I got these, man, I got nothing else. And I have to wind down for the night. I like to watch an episode or two. Just to totally veg. Now, if I had unlimited coins, that might be different. And I probably just wouldn't sleep. When the going was good, I was doing like, oh shit, doing like 20 boxes of quarters a week and 10 boxes of halves and some quarters and some nickels when time permitted. No such that going on anymore. This is OBS. I've tried. I've been on Yardstream before. I haven't been in charge of the Yardstream. From my understanding, it's pretty easy to work with, and it's good when you're like doing box battles and things like that. You have multiple people doing it. OBS, definitely, I like it, but it takes some time to figure out just some of the little nuances that come along with it. But it's actually pretty easy to use. It allows you to add the different scenes and, you know, little things here and there, so you can, you know. Oh, what stream? I stream service. I use Netflix. I have Hulu. I have Amazon Prime, I have Disney Plus, I have HBO Max. I think I basically have the only one. There was a movie I wanted to watch the other day that had. What's that guy's name? The guy from Bourne Identity. Matt Damon. There's some movie he did, like with robots and crap like that, and it intrigued me. So I went to watch that. That was only available on Peacock Plus, maybe? I don't know. It was on something, and I had the service, and so I went to go watch it, but it wasn't available. I didn't have a high enough subscription or whatever, and I wasn't willing to do it, so. Yeah, most of the stuff I think comes with. My wife constantly changes what we have. Like we had Hulu at one point, and then we fired them, and I believe we have YouTube TV right now. The Disney, we got that for the kids, and then, when that came out. She's an avid baseball watcher too, so we have like this Valley TV, I guess it's called, which is like when they black out the games here locally, we can still watch the games somehow. So, I don't know how it works. I just watch it. Hey, Jimmy LaCarley, good to see you. I'm glad the package made it. Imagine that. Jimmy won something. Good to see you, my friend. I tend to, most of the stuff that I watch or where I kind of like look for stuff is Netflix. To me, it's the easiest to navigate. The other ones I can get into or I'll go into. I don't normally hunt around them and look for stuff to watch though. That's what, unless it's someone says, "Oh, you got to watch this," and it's on that, then I'll go look for it. But thank you, much appreciated. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you swinging by when you can. Oh boy, we are in a dry spell of dry spells. We found something in those first couple of rows. We haven't found anything in probably 10, 15 rolls now. Not even something goofy to look at. Not even a foreign. That's the kind of stuff that strikes me strange, is when you don't find foreign or... I guess we had that painted coin not so long ago. Really like to see something silvery. That's always fun. See how nice those D's are? I was like, oh, that's a W. You had a chance. Until I flipped the coin. That chance was gone. Man, look at all these D's. Yeah, I would love to see some silver. You don't find them in the quarters as much as I would like. Sometimes you get on a streak, though, where you start finding them. Last year, I was finding about 1 every 10 boxes, I would say. This year's definitely been better than that. Kind of been horrible about keeping my stats over the last couple of months because coin's been so hard to come by. I'm just happy to get it when I get it, but I want to say it's probably closer to once every 5 boxes this year. But still not as much as I would like. I'd like to see it all the time. I think it'd be cool to go back in time to like the 1950s when all the money was silver. Imagine what the pockets sounded like back then. But then again, back then they'd be like, yeah, it's just, that's the sound it makes. Be pretty cool though. Look at these timbers, man. All kinds of timber. This is crazy. It's in a weird box. It's like they shipped it from Denver or something. Never see this many Denver coins. sugar booger. Come on, white line, where are you? Yeah, shiny Denver. We might see the proof. That'd be fun to find too. I don't find proofs. I guess when I find that proof nickel, that's what makes me think of that is. I don't find the proofs very often, except for in halves. And it's cool when you see on the other denominations. That one's the real shape. Fingers crossed with the proof. Yeah, I don't know if you want to hurt your fingers like that. Proofs are so hard to come by. I think I found more silver than I have proofs and quarters. But I would love to see one. I just like the variety of being able to find things that are a little bit different. I mean, but then all these Denvers are weird to see myself. So many Denvers in this roll. Definitely not my normal style box. Wow. I'm surprised you don't find more than halves. I mean, let me see if I've got my sheet up. Quarters, where are you? Quarters. Proofs. So this year I found 16 proofs in quarters, which is less than the 26 silvers I found. In halves, halves gonna be way bigger than that too, I think. Where I found that we need a box. Halves. 92 proofs. I find them. Now nickels. I'm gonna go check my nickels real quick. Nickels and pen. I don't know that I've ever found one in pennies. Let's see. Pennies. Pennies is a big fat nope for the state boxes. I found one. Nope. And nickels. I've gotten 4 this year. So, like I said, I don't find them that often. I mean, that's a lot. I've done a lot of boxes this year too, though. I mean, that's how many quarters is that? Quarters. Done about 125 boxes. There's a bunch of 21s in there. blinging edges at? Here they are. Wow, I'm surprised. This year has definitely been better for me for silver. Very inconsistent, when they come. But that's kind of to be expected. It kind of falls into circulation when it falls into circulation. Alrighty, Silver Moneybag. I appreciate you swinging by. Your eyeballs is greatly appreciated. And have a wonderful evening and enjoy your surfing. Monday's a little bit lighter for the average streams out there, but I'm sure there's somebody out there doing something. They're probably finding a heck of a lot more than I am right now. This box just went from something to nothing quick. But that is the life of a coin roll hunter. Some boxes are great and a lot of them stink. Wow. 0 fines. Oh, sorry to hear that, hunting Southwest Ohio. That is so frustrating. I have been there, unfortunately, too many times. Nothing worse. Yeah, I don't ever really remember finding that much silver in my in change. I don't know. I do remember spending my dad's silver quarters to buy candy bars, though. Yeah, so he had a roll of BU quarters, and he collected, but he didn't really collect that heavily. And I so wanted. We would go to the pool in the summertime, and they'd have Snickers they kept them in the refrigerator, so they were nice and cold on a hot day. And I think they did it more to keep the chocolate from melting than anything. But it was great because they were nice and cold, and I loved candy to begin with. Who doesn't? And I had to have one. So one day I went in there and snuck a silver quarter and bought myself a candy bar with it. Oh. Yeah, I don't know that my dad ever found out, so. He probably would have killed me. Here's a good candy bar, though. It's kind of like that guy that spent, 10,000 Bitcoin on a pizza back when it first came out that'd be worth like $20 million, $200 million right now. Like I shouldn't have eaten that pizza. Yeah, you just gotta shake it off. Southwest Ohio, you're gonna get bad box like that, unfortunately, and it's nothing more frustrating. Especially when you just flat out skunk. You kind of come to expect it with tabs. Everybody else you expect to at least squeak something out. Oh, it was a good candy bar. I don't know if there's such thing as a bad candy bar, though. Yeah. I like my candy, that's for sure. Especially as a kid. Especially as a kid. Man. The kid behind us, he was, I don't know, like 1, maybe 2 years older than me. And he had a quote-unquote job. Basically, he would go around and he had this one guy that lived in some apartments, or the condos, townhouses, I guess, and behind us. And he would walk the guy's dog, and he'd wash and wax his car, and he house sit for this one lady that was out of town all the time. So he was rolling in the big money. He was able to buy gummy bears all the time and stuff like that. And it was crazy. That was back in the days when you could actually ride your bike to the convenience store and buy stuff too, though. I used to ride my bike every place. Nowadays, it's like you live in a gated community. The kids aren't even allowed to go outside. Go figure. Well, what makes you feel any better, it's not like I'm crushing it here at this box. I do have a couple of finds, but this is far from an exciting box so far. And I'm down to my last row. Come on. Produce. BY, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are, I don't know, 80%, 90% through this box. We found ourselves one W so far. We found ourselves a San Francisco minted non-proof quarter that we were finding all the time before, and then we stopped finding them, and then I found one in the last 2 boxes. Today, we are looking for, well, in quarters, I'm normally looking for West Point quarters, which is, if you're not familiar with the quarters, is going to be a quarter with, let's do this. Let's do this way. Here we go. It's going to be, it's going to have a W, so it's going to be that's going to be the West Point mint. The mint mark's down here under "In God We Trust." In these quarters, depending on the design, this particular design, Weir Farms isn't super sought after. The American Memorial Park and the Marsh Billings are the best two to get, or the most popular to get. This one though is probably worth about $10. So it's a $10 quarter, and then of course you're always looking for silver, which is anything 1964 or earlier, and then unusual stuff like this is a San Francisco minted quarter. If I was able to find foreigns, anything that seems kind of cool. And of course, heirs and varieties. I semi-look for those. I do tend to have most of them. I'm not a huge variety hunter, but if something slaps me in the face and says, I am different, I'll take a gander at it. But it also just depends on how many coins I have. And my patience level for the day. On how much attention I give the coins. But the hunt's going well. I mean, I've got something. I've got myself a W. So, you know, if you can pull a W or a silver out of a box, I consider it a pretty worthwhile endeavor. Certainly we'd love to get more than that. But the W's are getting harder and harder to find because they only minted 2 million of each. And they've been pulled out constantly since they were minted. And silver, of course, is always fun to find, but is just as tough to find. Yeah, I get that, man. I actually, you know, I honestly think that my patience, to some extent, is better than it was when I was a little bit younger. But I have days. No, the W's can be found in 2019 and 2020. So there's 5 or 4. 5 different designs per year. But just those 2 years. And then they hopefully it's a temporary hold. But yeah, just 19 and 20 right now. Nothing in 21. Maybe they'll bring it back when they introduce the new series that starts in 22. So there's 10 different W quarters you can find. And while each of them have 2 million minute each design, it's strange. Some people prefer, I don't know if they prefer the design or what it is, but they definitely fetch different dollar amounts. I mean, I'll post some up and you're lucky to sell it for $10. But if you get like a Rockefeller or an AMP, you can, I mean, it's essentially guaranteed $25, if not more. It's weird. I sell mine predominantly on eBay. I do a lot of trades too. Like if there's coins that I'm looking for, or if there's people that want to trade, I'll certainly trade for them. And we just kind of figure out whoever I'm trading with, what they have, what they think the value is, or what we think the value is. And so I do a lot of trades within the community with people, you know, because they have different things that I want, and I have stuff that they want, and just try to come up with something that's fair for both of us. And it's fun because that way both of you can add to your collection. But when I'm just outright plain old selling, I use eBay. And I do that simply because the the number of eyeballs. It's not like it's a super rare or valuable coin. Even the ones that are popular, you're talking about, raw examples, probably not worth, I think the top that I've gotten off of any coin is like $40. Coin Hunter Chris, I was wondering when I was going to see you. I figured, you know what, it's close to dinner time. I'm surprised we have not seen Chris yet. We are almost through this box, my friend. Good to see you, though. Thank you for swinging by. Yeah, the W's are getting harder and harder and harder to come by. I used to feel kind of disappointed if I wasn't finding, one or a couple of box, where now it's tough. When you're happy to see one. Working late, that's the worst. Well, better to work late early in the week than late in the week. There's nothing worse than having to stay late on Friday, right? Might as well pay your dues on Monday. Well, this is the second to last roll. And we still don't have a foreign. We have all these Denver minted coins. It's a weird box. Ah, you got the Mouse Buildings. That's a good one to have, man. I'd be happy with that one. I would love to find one of those tonight. Well, if you've got extras of something, or if you want to shoot me an email, I am always open for trades. I've got extras of everything. At least when it comes to W's. Yeah, I mean, the foreigns have been... I mean, I can't believe how few foreigns. You know what I think it is? It's because there's just so little circulation with the coins. I mean, this, quote unquote coin surge we're going through. And I always pull the foreign out. So I think it's just a matter of, unless someone else is throwing new stuff in, I've already gotten all the foreigns out. Because for the most part, when I re-roll, I'll put foreigns back in, but or at least if it's Canadian, because I have so many Canadians. But everything else I keep, and if I'm putting it in a bag, I don't put any foreigns in a bag, because I don't know how the machine treats those, and I don't want to get dinged. Ooh, weird looking pea. I remember on another channel, and he does the member stream. I always look like he could get it. Oh, cool. I wish I had a 16D. I wish. That's the one I'm missing from my dad's collection. Not to mention, I think I've heard the 16D has a slight premium on it. Yeah, I've started to go through, because the coins have been light. I've started to go through some of my wheats just to see if I have any fun air surprise. Like one of the things that I found is I I bought a roll of the 2009s and the formative years. I went through and I yanked out the FS 808, and this is fresh out of a roll. So that's pretty sweet. Not that it's worth that much, but little things like that, that's what I've kind of been doing with my free time. So, and here comes Mikey talking about his food. Mikey's always eating way better than everybody else. I'm so jealous, Mikey. Although I made some killer pork chops tonight. Marinated in soy sauce and brown sugar, grilled to perfection with a little bit of rice. Delicious. Ah, Philly. With his filet and his lobster, you suck. By the way, welcome to this ring, Phil. Good to see you. Hey, Mikey, is Mobile Coins back? Is he hunting again? Or is this in the past? I went out, I don't know, it was 3 weeks ago now. You go over to the coast and you take a chicken leg and you throw it out on a string and you can catch blue crab. And so whenever I get that hankering, I go out there and throw chicken legs in the water and see if I can catch myself some crabs. And the last time I was out there, I got 2 crabs. I came home and I ate them. They were awesome. Nothing like a fresh crab right out of the water. Oh, I'm glad to hear that he's back. I know that he was rehab and everything else like that, and he was struggling. It's good to hear he's back. I'll just keep my eyes peeled for one of his upcoming streams. All right, Zach Lane, thank you for stopping by. Have a great evening at work, and we'll catch you around. Well, so tonight, for those of you that just showed up, we did get a W. We got ourselves a Muir Farm and an S-minted Mount Rushmore, right? Yes, Mount Rushmore. That was it. So, not horrible. Not great either, but better than a skunker, that's all I can say. So, we will flip our friends up and put them in our book. Who else is still streaming tonight? Do you guys know? Where should we all run to now? Because if not, I am out of coin. I will have to find myself something to binge. I asked earlier, anybody, somebody. This was actually, you know what? It's funny you say that, Chris. Today, I went to pick up my halves from my one bank that's actually one of the banks. I got 2 banks that now are ordering for me. And so I went up and I said, I'm here to pick up my halves. And she came in, she had a box of quarters. And I was like, do you have my halves? And she's like, oh, I didn't even realize these weren't halves. She's like, I just brought out what they brought. And I'm like, do you have the halves too? And she's like, no. They brought quarters. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, do you want the quarters? I'm like, yeah, of course I'll take the quarters. And so I took them, I hunted those, I filmed those, those are going to be in a future video. And so I took those to my dump bank. I actually re-rolled them because my dump bank said if I can get them quarters to bring them. So I brought them quarters and then said, hey, do you have any coin to give me? And she said, no. And this is the teller that doesn't like to give me coin. I said, you don't have anything? And she's like, I got a box of quarters. I said, are you telling me you have the box of quarters that I just gave you? And she's like, no, I've got a box that's sealed. I'm like, can I have it? And she's like, sure. So I actually did 2 boxes of quarters today. So I was pretty stoked about that. First box, I'm not going to tell you what I found, but I did find some stuff. This box had just those 2 finds in it. And I also did I showed you guys earlier, you weren't here though. She had 50 bucks in nickels. Where's my fancy one at? That's not it. Where'd it go? There it is. And I got this proof nickel today, which is pretty cool. But, so I had the proof nickel and I had, what, 10-ish other finds. No war nickels, no buffaloes, no V nickels, no anything too crazy exciting. But I did get the proof, which is pretty cool. Yeah, no, boxes have been so hard to come by. I mean quarters especially. Quarters have been really tough. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to take these coins back to my one bank and see what they can give me, if they can give me anything. Because this is a third bank that I dump at and get from sometime. And I'm going to ask her if she can order me a box of halves for Friday, because she did that for me last week, but they didn't bring them. So I'm going to try to hit her up again this week. Nebraska, I believe I'm missing Mikey. I'm missing so many. I'm missing half the states, man. So the chances are, if I don't know, I would say I don't have it. No, Nebraska, I don't have. Nebraska, I reached out to Freedom Coins, and he was going to send me a box, and he said he sent me a box, but it got blowed up in the mail, and then he was going to send me another box, and then his life got busy, and I completely understand that, so I haven't been able to score anything there yet. Dreadful. Okay, I will reach out to him. I've been reaching out to people, left and right, and there's a handful of people trying, but I know I'm struggling getting coins. So a lot of these people that I'm reaching out with are not. I mean, they're half of them are stackers, and while they collect coins, they don't necessarily hunt coins. So I'm sure if I'm struggling getting coins, that they're going to have similar, if not worse, issues, because they're not even used to asking for a coin. So I get it. I get it. So it's realistically, the challenge is going to have to probably roll through to next year, and I'm okay with that, because we weren't. I mean, I certainly wasn't expecting the coin shortage to be coming back again, but it's kind of like the virus. It's not supposed to be there, and it's supposed to be gone, and it just doesn't. But anyhow, I appreciate y'all swinging by. It's greatly appreciated. I'm streaming when I have boxes if I'm not going to film, just because I'm trying to, continue to get some watch eyeball time. Because while I have the numbers, I certainly don't have the hours, not even close. So just trying to maximize the use of my boxes. So keep your eyes peeled. The box I did this morning was actually definitely better than the one that I did this evening. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I think that I got a bunch in front of it, though, because I've been horrible about uploading lately. So I'm definitely backlogged a bit. So anyhow, again, I appreciate you all swinging by. Have a wonderful evening. And I'll catch you on the next Jimmy. I'll catch you all on the next streamer video. Have a good one.